Welcome back, traders. It's your boy Silver Fulltime, and in this episode we're going to be learning on how to use a risk calculator, which is great for those that wanna pre-calculate their risk before pressing that entry button. So you'll have an exact idea of how much you wanna put on the table, so how much you wanna risk on a certain trade. You'll then be able to pre-calculate that amount and use the correct lot size before pressing that buy or sell button. And this is why I've made this video for you, to show you exactly how you calculate that. So let's take a quick example. Let's say your account type is in USD, so your base currency is in dollars, and you want to take a trade opportunity on the USD CAD, which is the United States dollar against the Canadian dollar. You're looking into risking $100, 100 United States dollars, and after pre-calculating your risk, you find that it's 42 pips, and that's all you have to do. You just have to punch in 42 here, punch in 100, the currency that you want to trade and the currency your account is based in, and then press the calculate button right there. So basically the calculator will then return to you the lot size, the standard lot size that you have to punch in into the MT4. So before you press your buy or sell button, you'll then punch in 0.3 as your pre-calculated risk and then press buy. Okay, and then in 42 pips, if anything goes against you, you'll only lose $100. Okay, so I want to show you on the live market how this would look. So for example, we're going to be looking at the euro against the United States dollars. So for our example, we're going to be looking into the euro against the United States dollars. I'm looking for buying opportunities in this area, which simply means I'm going to be making money when the markets move upwards, which simply means my stop loss has to be below my entry point, which will be below market price in this case. So I'm looking into this area down here. It looks very interesting for me, so I'm going to set my stop loss at the lowest point I can find right here. Okay, so this would be my stop loss level right over here. So basically, if I were to lose this trade, the market would have to then turn from the market price and start moving downwards and touch my stop loss level. So I want to now pre-calculate the risk before entering. Okay, so now all I have to do is then calculate the amount of pips from the point of entry, which is roughly here at the market price, and dragging it all the way down to the stop loss. Okay, the number I'm looking for is the number in the middle, the number that's reading 339, which is 339 pips. Or is it? Alright, so let's record that number. So we found that our stop loss is 339 pips. Okay, but it's actually not 339 pips, it's 33.9 pips. Alright, so just to round it off, I'm gonna say it's 34 pips. This is to make it easier for our calculator. Okay, once we found out the pips that we want to risk our money within, let me just highlight that area so it's easier to see. So we're going to be risking from stop loss all the way to the entry level. There we go. So this is our risk area. So if the market moves into this pink area and keeps going lower and lower, we'll be losing money all the way until our stop loss. When the market gets to a stop loss, it will automatically cut our loss. So in this case, let's say I'm interested in risking $100, alright, 100 United States dollars in this 34 pips over here. So all I have to do is simple. Is now I have to go to my risk calculator here on my phone. So it's simple. All I have to do is go to the risk calculator on my phone. First thing is first, I need to identify the currency that my account is based in, which is now United States dollars. And then I need to identify the pair that I'm trading. In this case, we're trading the Euro USD. Okay, the amount that I want to risk is 100 United States dollars. And then the amount of pips that we need to calculate here is in 34 pips. Then all I have to do now is press calculate. Let me just press it again there. So there, automatically the calculator will then pick it up for you on what lot size you need to apply so that you only lose $100 in the 34 pips that you've selected. So let me see, it says here in standard lots we need to risk 0.29. Alright, so all you have to do is come to your platform, click here so that you can see the sell and buy options, and then where it says 0.0 whatever it says up there, just replace that with what you see on the calculator, which is the 0.29. Okay, now since we're looking for buying opportunities, I'm gonna press buy right now. Okay, so it's asking me to confirm the trade. Yes, buy by market. Bam, there we go. So the trade was successfully loaded and we bought with a 0.29. So we're expecting if we drag this trade from here to the stop loss, it should tell us that we're risking $100. So let's drag it. So keep your eye on this number here. So there we go, we're at the stop loss, and before I leave it, just look at the number. The number is now saying that we are going to lose 93 United States dollars in 32.1 pips. So let's keep dragging it a bit lower so that we have 34 pips. So there we go, we've got a minus $98.60 in 34 pips. Alright, so all I have to do is say modify and okay. So there we go, now I can go to sleep. I know that no matter what happens, I won't lose more than what I've put on the table, which is my $100. And if this thing keeps going upwards, I'm going to be making money just as fast as I would have lost it. Isn't that beautiful? Now I can sleep at night knowing that I won't lose more than what I want to lose. So I want to take you onto more examples so that you can see how the calculator is beneficial to your trading and how it'll make a big impact to you. Okay, so let's look into more examples. For our next example, we're going to be using the United States dollar against the Canadian dollar and using the RSI as our confirmation of buy or sell. The RSI just left the oversold area, meaning we're looking for a buy opportunity right over here. So this is our first buy, and we want to calculate how many pips there are in there. So we find that there's 58.1 pips. So just to round it off, I'm gonna punch in the 59 pips, and we want to risk $100 on this trade. So let's see how it works out for us. Ooh, missing the stop loss there. So we almost lost $100 on that deal. Market finally hitting take profit right at this level. So let me draw this line just to indicate where we hit profit right over there. And we just made ourselves a sweet $200 on this deal. Alright, so now we're waiting for a sell opportunity because it's right next to the the overbought area. So here's our sell trades. Trade number 2 is a sell trade. So now I just want to calculate how many pips are in between the entry and the stop loss, and we found that there's 30.8 pips. So just to round it off, we're going to say there's 31 pips, and we want to lose another $100 in this deal if anything happens, nothing more than that. So we just lost $100 on this deal by hitting the stop loss. Alright, so we're gonna wait a bit and see if we can go for trade number 3 around the same area. So there we go, I think I'm ready to go for trade number 3. Alright, so we're gonna adjust the stop loss just a bit, and let's calculate now for how many pips are between the entry and the stop loss now. So we find now there's 47.4 pips, And now instead of risking $100 in this space, I want to try and risk $200. So let's see how it works out for us. There we go, take profit, making ourselves a nice $400 on this deal. And now since we're in the oversold area, we're looking for buying opportunities once again. So there we go, we found our first green candle, and this is our trade number 4, setting up for a buy trade. So now let's see how many pips are between the entry and the stop loss. We found that there's 56.2 pips, so we're gonna round it off and say 57 pips, and we want to risk $100 on this deal as well. We just had a stop loss, so we lost $100 on this deal. So let's see if we can get trade number 5 along these areas. Looking tempting, but no. There we go, now that looks solid. So I'm gonna set up for trade number 5 over here. And then let's calculate how many pips are in between the entry and stop loss. So we found that there's 44.3 pips between those. So we're gonna round off and say 45, and we're risking $200 on this trade. There we go, we just hit take profit, meaning we're taking home a total of $400 from this deal. So let's just quickly do the math. 200 minus 100 plus 400 minus 100 plus 400, that equals $800. So that's what you take home from this trade, and that's how you should use the risk calculator.